The new season is finally among us. Tuchel is back, the squad is back, and Chelsea are back. Our first pre-season game is coming up against Club America, and we're here to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. What's going on, people? I'm Carefree Lewis G. Welcome back to another video on Chelsea Fan TV and your first match preview of the new season. I know this is the time of year everyone has been waiting for. Chelsea are back and the squad is back, and hopefully we're here to create some magic next season, because we absolutely fizzled out towards the end of the last season. But it's a new season. It's starting to look like a new squad as well. Like, the opening portion of the summer transfer window had been very frustrating for Chelsea fans all across the world. But now we're finally starting to see names come in through the door. Raheem Sterling's in, Koulibaly is just needing to be announced, and then he's going to be in as well. And it looks like we're finally starting to cook in the transfer market. But are we going to be cooking on the pitch? That is yet for us to see, but this is going to be the first game for us to gauge the Cobham players, to gauge the players from the squad from last season, to see who's improved, to see who we still got to have an eye out for next season. But let me know who you guys are most excited to see down in the comment section below. We're going to be discussing all things Chelsea versus Club America, and we're going to be going into our predicted lineup to end the show as well. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Also, I do want to say before we get into the preview, every pre-season game is going to be showcased here on Chelsea Fan TV. We're going to be doing watch-alongs for every pre-season game, regardless of the time. It could be 3 p.m, it could be 3 a.m. We're still going to be here. We're still going to be going through the game. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and hit the bell notification button to know whenever we're going live, whenever we drop any new content. As of course, hit the like and subscribe button, and we are aiming for 500 likes in this video. So if you guys are only just coming in, hit that like button, do us a little solid. It is the weekend. Let's have that little weekend spirit. And let's get into it. Now, the summer transfer window was very frustrating for Chelsea supporters all across. And from a club perspective, it has been all change, from the owner to the negotiator to basically everything except the manager and the backroom staff. But after a frustrating, let's say, month or two, Thomas Tuchel is finally getting his signings in. Raheem Sterling has come through the door. Koulibaly is very close to coming through the door as well. And there could be a bunch of other big names joining us as well. You do have to play it by ear. But it is exciting times for Chelsea, and we are finally starting to cook in the transfer market. The question is, are we going to be cooking on the pitch? And that is still yet to be seen. But I look forward to finding out. There's plenty of players that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. New players who have come back from loan. Players still in the squad with a point to prove. There is plenty to look forward in this game. And there's decent opposition to test ourselves out against. Club America, a club based in Mexico City, Mexico. They have the most league titles in the Liga MX League, and the most recent one came in 2018. So they definitely are going to be a challenge for us. But that's how we judge Tuchel. That's how we judge the squad. And I'm just hoping that we see some of the energy and some of the intensity that made Tuchel's first few months look so magical at Chelsea Football Club. Because, like we said, it was a dismal end to last season. We were very lucky to even hold on to third place. Thank the Lord Arsenal are bottle jobs, because we were doing everything possible to throw away third place. But I am looking forward to this game. I would guess that you guys are looking forward to it as well, because it's the first chance we're going to get to see some of the new Cobham players from last season, some of the new loanees, and a lot of them have a point to prove. I'm going to go straight into my lineup as well. I bet there's going to be a lot of you guys that don't agree with the lineup that I have, but let me know your thoughts down in the description below. And I could 100% be wrong in this, by the way. There is a list of about 20 to 30 players in there, and they're all going to be getting a run out at some point. And it's not going to be picked based on your best 11 or your strongest 11. It's going to be based on who Tuchel wants to see. So I think there's going to be a lot of names that you've seen regularly get brought out in the transfer window, regularly get linked with moves away from the club, be it on loan or be it permanently, that you could see go into the squad. And also some players that just never really get a run out because this is a good opportunity. The likes of Betlinelli, for example, and the likes of him. But without further ado, let's go straight into the lineup for this game. I'm going to start in goal, and it is a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to go for Marcus Betlinelli at the back because I don't think it makes sense for Mendy to play in this sort of game. We already know his caliber. We don't really need to give him a run out. Kepa might be nice if he has a good performance to try and get other clubs interested in him, but I doubt there's going to be too much focus for him. So I think it makes more sense to give the third choice keeper a run out because he rarely does. The only game he got given last season was against Chesterfield in the third round of the FA Cup. So I think it'd be a good chance to give him a run out, and that's going to be my choice in goal. By the way, if I haven't said already, we are going to stick to the standard 3-4-3 formation that Tuchel has made popular at Chelsea because I think it's way too early to make a change right now, especially when we don't have our entire team back just yet. In the back three, I'm going to go for Aspi at right centre-back because if this Koundé deal continues to go through and we end up getting him, that's going to trigger Aspi leaving to Barcelona. So I think it'd be a good final appearance for him in this sort of game. So he'd be my preferred choice at right centre-back. In the middle, we're going to go for Trevor Chalobah. I do want to build up his experience. I do think he should be playing the full 90 in this sort of game because I do want him to start to build up some sort of leadership and a bit more confidence because that's going to aid him in his development as well if he wants to stay long term at Chelsea. And I think it would be good for him to have a bit of time within the middle and to understand that role a little bit more because within the long term, you'd want to see him gain a bit more confidence at the back. So I want to keep Chalobah in the middle. And on the left, I'm going to go for Levi Colwill. And there has been a lot of talks about Levi Colwill potentially wanting to leave Chelsea, potentially seeing a lack of game time. And I've heard other rumours saying that Levi Colwill just wants to be given a fair opportunity. And for me, regardless of whichever one's true or not, he should be playing in this game. And this would be a good chance for him to show Thomas Tuchel exactly what he can do in a Chelsea shirt and to show the fans as well. I think a lot of fans have been very harsh on Levi Colwill since this news had come out. Unless he is directly trying to force his way out of the club, I don't think he's doing anything more other than looking out for himself. Which, more power to you as a football player. You can only look out for number one. So for me, Levi Colwill has to go in at left centre-back. At left wing-back, I'm going to go for Ben Chilwell. Now, it would be a good chance to give someone like Kennedy a run out or Emerson potentially, but we haven't seen a lot of Ben Chilwell since he came back from his knee injury. He only got like the last 30 minutes against Watford on the last day of the season, and it wasn't really enough to gauge the player. So for me, I'm going to go for Ben Chilwell on the left-hand side, and I do want to just get an idea of how quickly he's recovered or how far he is in his recovery from his knee injury. Because I always say, like, there's recovering from dangerous injuries like an ACL or an Achilles in terms of physically recovering, and then there's a mental recovery in terms of being able to trust your body and being able to look after it or being able to trust it after going into a 50-50 tackle or something like that. So I do think there's still a long way to go for Ben Chilwell, so this would be a good game to gauge him in. On the right-hand side, again, I'm just going to go for Reece James because, I'll be real, it is just a favouritism thing from me. I don't really think there's many other options for us in terms of the squad of players who could potentially play there. Like, just looking at the squad right now, I don't really think there's anyone else that could go there except for potentially Azpilicueta. So for me, Reece James has to go in at right wing back. In the middle, I'm going for Billy Gilmour and Conor Gallagher because, again, both of them have come back from loan spells. One, a lot more promising than the other. Gilmour had a very frustrating loan at Norwich. In hindsight, it wasn't the best deal for him. But I think it'll be a good chance, again, to see how both of them impress and see how both of them show in the Chelsea shirt. Also, without a leader next to them as well. Let's see how they both do if you throw them into the deep end and have them rely on each other as opposed to an experienced veteran like Kovacic or N'Golo Kante or Jorginho or something like that. So for me, I'd go for Billy Gilmour and I'd go for Conor Gallagher. I also do think that works pretty well in the aspect of having someone who'd sit in Billy Gilmour and someone who'd be roaming around a lot more in terms of Conor Gallagher. And I do think that would work out very well as a good partnership. So it'll be interesting to see how the two would work. As the front three, on the left, I'm going to go for Hudson-Odoi. Again, we keep saying this has to be the year for Cho. This has to be the year for Cho. We're here again, and just need to see something a little bit more from Hudson-Odoi. I personally do want to see him go out on loan, get a bit more game time, get some experience. He's the only experienced Cobham graduate who hasn't had a loan spell, and I do think it would do him really well. If he's to stay here, let's see how he's adapted, because he didn't have a lot of game time towards the end of last season. He was in and out of the squad with injuries. If anything, he took an extended time out of the team because of a recurring Achilles injury. So I think it would be good to throw him back into the squad and see how he's adapted. He looks to have bulked up a little bit more. Maybe that'll make him stronger on the ball. I just need to see more composure from him. I need to see a better end product and a little bit better decision making. On the right, Mason Mount always gets into the lineup. I do think it would be good to have someone like him in the lineup as well. Him, Conor Gallagher and Billy Gilmore in that little midfield three would be a great move for me. And in the middle, I would have said Armando Broja, but he looks to have pulled up with an injury. So we're going to go for Kai Havertz in the middle. And Kai Havertz is another one who has a major point to prove for me this season. I do need to see him be a lot more clinical and be a lot better in his decision-making as well. And I think this would be another good game to see how much he's adapted, how much he's improved in the short time that he's spent in pre-season. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV as well. We will be here at 3 a.m. on Saturday night for the watch-along. So check that out. We will be here. I don't know who's going to be here with me, but there will be a panel, so check it out. And yeah, I look forward to seeing Chelsea return back to our screens. Let me know your thoughts down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, up the Chelsea.